James Thomas Morning Blend, after years of persuasion and paying him millions of dollars. Let me introduce everyone to Mr. Kevin Bryant. How are you, Kevin?
I'm good. How are you, James?
I am great. When I found out what you were doing, remember I came in your office and what did I do?
Oh, man, you gave me the business.
I gave him and grabbed his hand and gave him a nice big hug because I heard about Kingsway Development.
Yes.
So tell us about Kingsway Development.
Well, Kingsway Development is, am I looking at you or the camera?
We're talking. It's
Oh,
a
okay.
conversation.
All right. Well, all right.
I don't have a pretty girl. I don't have an attractive assistant.
I'm not used to interviews, so I just want to make sure I'm doing this right.
Don't look at Fred, man.
No problem. So, but it's an exciting redevelopment project. Mm-hmm. So it's 207 acres of redevelopment. It's two neighborhoods, Fountain Park and Lewis Place. Mm-hmm. So we are right off the shoulder of the Central West End in the world-renowned Delmar Divide, whereas Delmar has been a line of demarcation for decades now. Yeah. So we were very fortunate to win our fight for that area to be targeted for redevelopment, and I was even luckier to be the one chosen to lead the development.
Okay. So when you say fight, who are you fighting with, and who let you go ahead and be the leader of this? Who are the authority over that?
Well, the contract to be a developer goes through St. Louis Development, SLDC.
Yes.
So we
had Otis Williams?
Absolutely.
One of our sponsors?
Yes, Otis was the guy. He had enough faith in our planning and faith in my ability to see it through that we were allowed to submit a proposal, because as a first-time developer, the first thing you go up against is experience.
Right.
So the blighting ordinance went out. We fought to get the area blighted for redevelopment, which basically sets up incentives. From there, you get the opportunity to submit a proposal to be the developer. Normally, a first-time developer might get a single site or a block, maybe 6 or 7 houses. We were fortunate enough to win the entire proposal.
Okay.
So, and it wasn't because anybody liked me or I'm good at marketing. It was because our planning was tight.
Okay.
So we really did the best we could to hire the best urban planners, the best architects to help us with our vision. And we stood by every word in that redevelopment plan.
So what we're about to see on the Delmar Divide,
yes, sir.
North of that, what can we expect to see there?
In 2019, you can see 3 things. So you're going to see 24 new homes in this area, and this area hasn't had this many homes built in over 30 years, certainly at one time. So about half of those are rehabs and half are brand new. You're going to see crime drop. We've already been instrumental in getting new cameras put up at the block of Albert near the suburban tracks, which was a portal for a lot of crime in that area. So we've already seen crime drop there, which is the prep for the new homes that are coming.
Again, where's that tract of homes going to be at?
On the block of Albert, the 700 block. So one block off of Delmar. We're starting from Delmar going north. You're also going to see us begin to redevelop our own co-working space. One of the first places we went for planning was right here at T-Rex. And Patty was very, helpful in terms of how do you differentiate what we're trying to do from what's happening here, what's happening over at CIC. How do we create a co-working space that serves that neighborhood? And we think we've nailed it. Very excited about starting with that. And you're also going to see the preparation for a 120-unit apartment building right at the corner of Delmar and Euclid also.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is that parking lot that's there?
Yeah, the big empty parking lot that's been there
Wow,
forever.
been there for years, forever.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
When I used to take my show at Double Helix a long time ago.
Yeah. That's where you park.
Yeah, I remember that. So what are some of the other things that Kingsway Development is going to be doing? Are there different phases to this project?
The biggest challenge is always working with the community. There's always a lot of, distrust. Who are you to be doing this?
Right.
Have you done this before? So we have to fight through a lot of that. And that's constant community engagement. I have to take a lot of anxiety, you know what I mean? But I reassure people that was there before I walked into the building.
Right.
So I'm just here as a part of the solution, and it may take some time to get everyone comfortable that, we're not gentrifying, with no one's losing their homes. We want people to age in place. In fact, one of the things that people have to be reminded of is in destabilized neighborhoods like, Fountain Park, for instance, The remaining homeowners usually aren't the problem. The vacancies create the problems because you have outsiders come in and they'll set up shop.
Right.
So as we bring in more homeowners, it actually helps to lower the crime because now you have more people involved in what's happening.
Now, any connection with the new NGA project in North St. Louis?
No, not really. NGA is great for St. Louis overall, but you know it's too far away for us to really expect employees to want to move that far north. In fact, a lot of the employees that's going to be working over at NGA kind of already live here and have homes picked out.
Right.
And that newer influx are going to be the higher paid. So more than likely they won't be looking for affordable housing. So I'm happy to have them, but I think they're going to be looking, you know, maybe Central West End.
Okay. So how can our viewership and community help Kingsway development?
The biggest thing is to stay in touch with us. When we have community events, having people come out and give their input as to what they would like to see, that's real huge for us, especially me as a first-time developer, to always show that I am doing community engagement, that we are reaching out for people to participate, input on what types of homes you like to see us built. We've had proposals from dome-shaped homes to container homes.
Right.
And it's very important that people realize that when we say no to a project, we're saying no with the voice of the community. It's not just me making a decision. So just staying engaged in what we're doing. Once the co-working space comes online, checking us out during an event or two there. We're going to have a full-time podcast studio in there. 1,500 square foot of co-working kitchen space. So if you have a new product, a cupcake or a drink, you can make it and produce it there. So just staying engaged with us.
Where's the funding coming from all this?
So the co-working space primarily came, once again, from us being lucky enough to win a new market tax credit. And so from there, you'll do stack finances. We use Brownsfield, PACE financing, and then we had to land a leverage lender. So that created a $5 million stack for that. The homes, we did a whole lot of begging. we
a whole lot of begging.
A whole lot of begging. So when I said I was Keith Sweat earlier, that's my new full-time job. So you raise money just from, you know, finding someone who has money and then shares an interest. Like they're not really helping Kevin, they see an opportunity. So I try and set the opportunities up for them. Speaking of opportunity, oddly enough, we were fortunate enough to have our area written into what's called an opportunity zone.
Right.
So we're now entertaining investors on the $1 million level because they're looking for tax shelters.
Right.
So if you have an opportunity zone like we were fortunate enough to have, all you need is the project. So we're creating a couple of housing projects like the apartment building I talked about, which will be a great tax shelter and investment opportunity. So that's, you know, pretty much all. It's nothing really magical. In fact, at most of the community events, that question comes up a lot. How are you doing this? Because people knew I wasn't rich.
Right.
But what I was good at was relationships. So bringing people together and showing here's how we benefit by working together.
Now, what's the website people can go to?
So there are two. One is kingswaydevelopment.net, and then the other is elevation.space, and that's for the co-working space.
Okay, cool.
So kingswaydevelopment.net, elevation.space.
Is there a phone number?
Yeah, 314-361-3984.
And they need to see you or talk to someone else?
Anyone picks up the phone.
Anyone who picks up the phone?
Anyone picks up the phone can help you.
So I'll be manning the phone next week, right?
Yes, sir. Happy to have you.
Kevin Bryant,
yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining
My
us
pleasure.
on Morning Blend. We really needed to hear about the Kingsway development. We're going to let everybody know what's going on with this.
Perfect. Thank you.
James Thomas Morning Blend. We'll be right back after this.